This reminds me of a story I think you're gonna love. Do you guys want some Gia lore? So I've actually gotten that comment a lot from people that I've either worked with as clients online or other online friends. You know, I have a lot of friends who are practitioners, psychics, healers. So we're online friends. We're not in the same physical space. And if I ever say something about being short, they're all like, what? You seem so tall. But the Gia lore is that this is what I heard from my husband when we met in person for the first time. So yeah, we did meet online. this makes me laugh so hard. It's so embarrassing. We didn't just meet online. We met on MySpace in 2005. And we laugh about it now because we've been married for 18 years. Love him. He loves me. Wonderful marriage. But it's so cringe. It's so elder millennial. I mean, technically he's Gen X, but yeah, and it was even cringe back then because we didn't tell people that's how we met. We said we met at the record store, which like fair, because once we started comparing notes on music, we realized we had been to like all the same concerts all growing up. Like we were both into the Salt Lake punk rock scene. And so when we were like comparing stories, it was always like, wait, I was at that show. After we got engaged and like legitimized our relationship, we started telling people the truth, but yeah, it was embarrassing. But you know what? Honestly, it was like divine intervention because at the time I had this on again, off again boyfriend of a couple years. Total drama, okay? I was like 20 something, give me a break. So anyway, I had broken up with him from what I knew internally was the last time. Like I was a new level of done and ready to move on. But I think spirit was like, they didn't trust me. And they were like, go, go, go now. There was a window, there was an opening, and they just like shoved my husband in there because it was completely fortuitous. It was Labor Day weekend. I was home alone. I was bored. I had decided finally to make a MySpace account. And so I was playing around with the features. What can you do? What is this? And I saw the people near me feature. And so I was cruising, you know, scoping them out. And I saw this super cute hottie who was skateboarding in his profile picture, and his top bands were my top bands. And this is so 2005. I'm pretty sure he was wearing a spiky belt in the photo. And that would have been like a yes for me. Anyway, so I saw that he was online at the same time I found him. And so I messaged him and my winner of an opening line, what are you listening to? And yeah, it turned out he was listening to music and it was one of my favorite bands. I think it was Strung Out. And so we started chatting and we met. It was one of those nights that we started chatting, you know, texting, messaging, whatever, on MySpace for like an hour, 2 hours. It just like flowed. It was amazing. And so I finally was like, hey, this is really slow. Can I call you? And so we got on the phone and again, it just flowed and it was magical and amazing. And we talked until about 1 or 2 in the morning and we decided to meet in person. And we did a couple of days later. And I'm already on a roll. Might as well tell you the story. So we met at a restaurant. I got there a few minutes before he did. And that was the first time I started to have some nerves about the situation. And like, holy shit, I'm meeting a random internet stranger. This is a bad idea. This is a bad idea. And so since we had some time before our table was ready, I decided in my mind that if we didn't have that same flow and vibe as we did on the phone, I was just going to cut my losses and just say, you know what, this is a mistake. And I was going to leave. So just a few minutes after that, I saw him come in through the doors, and I am telling you, it was like an 80s movie. The sun was backlit, and he had this sort of halo, and I swear to you, in my mind, I heard, oh, I just died in your arms tonight. Oh my God, so embarrassing. But cute, right? Cute. Okay, he was so cute, but he was wearing a t-shirt. And I was like, in my mind, bro, like make an effort. So I was a little nervous, but he sat down and immediately the first thing he did was compliment my shoes. And they were badass. They were these like metallic silver pointy toe pumps. And I was like, oh, somebody raised you right. Compliment a lady. I like you. And we did vibe. We clicked. 2 little chatterboxes off to the races. And so we were sitting at our table midway through dinner. He noticed I was really cold. And so he offered to go to his car to get his jacket. Super sweet, love it. But the best part about all this is that I saw him through the window of the restaurant. He wasn't just jogging, he was sprinting. He hauled ass to his car and hauled ass back. I mean. And that was like 11 out of 10. Done. But also, I had been like unconsciously throwing down a gauntlet. I was swearing like a sailor, like a lot. Like a lot, even for me, and that's saying something. And it wasn't until months later that we had talked about it when I was like, yeah, I don't know why I did that. I think I was just like letting you know up front who I was to see if you could handle it. And he was like, yeah, I mean, that was a lot, but he's like, I mean, that's who I am. And so gauntlet thrown, challenge accepted. So after dinner, he walked me back to my car, gave me a very respectable hug and probably a kiss on the cheek, very gentlemanly like. And that was it. I'm pretty sure that was love. And there has never been a day yet that we have not spoken or been in contact in some way. And that has been almost 20 years. And all because of MySpace. So thank you for the opportunity to reminisce and ramble on in my story. I hope you enjoyed.